What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my life. Today, I had to make what feels like a very, very painful decision. Except it's not. It's a decision based off my understanding of where my personal growth is headed. So, Alicia and I are taking a break, and I wanted to talk about why we're taking a break. So, with that being said, you can't take two or more sick people and put them together in a life, to live together, to be in a relationship. People who are not okay for themselves. They have disorders, mental illnesses, whatever. When you take people like that and you put them together, you're going to have a fucking explosion. And this explosion that I'm talking about is weaknesses in both people and fresh wounds in both people, especially when dealing with addiction. When you're dealing with addiction and when you're also dealing with mental health issues, and you take two people who aren't cured or haven't found their solution yet, or one person who is moving towards solution and towards positivity, and the other person who's like going absolutely crazy, or two people who are going absolutely crazy in their heads, emotionally, depression-wise, panic-wise, anxiety-wise, and you put those two people in one house together, and you see their reactions. It's like when you take, scientifically, two molecules that don't make sense, that don't work together, and you put them in a little fucking tank together, a little thing together. You're gonna find an explosion. And I'm learning that as much as it hurts to separate myself, and tell that person, hey, you know what? I have love for you. And that's why I feel like us taking some time apart and separating is going to be the one and only thing that might save our relationship. Because right now, our relationship is toxicity. It is toxic. We are toxic for each other. I'm always picking you apart, and I always feel the need to help you become the best version of you. And you are, you show me a lot of signs of sadness, and, I don't want to expose a lot of stuff that she's dealing with, because that's not my business to put herself out there. That's not for me. That's not fair to her. But what I will say is that you have to make sure that you're making decisions for yourself. You can't make every decision in life based off what you know somebody else wants just to satisfy them. Because in life, you always come first. Your mental health should be number one to you. Number one. And if your mental health isn't number one, that you're going to find yourself repeatedly putting everybody else in front of you, and you're going to turn into probably a doormat. A doormat meaning people walk all over you, they use you, you never are satisfied in life. The only satisfaction that you make up in your head is when other people are happy. But then at the end of the day, when you turn to look in the mirror at yourself and you say, hey, what am I, Joe Schmo, what am I, Shane Begg, worth? And you don't find a lot of worth in yourself. You feel hurt and you've got pain inside of you because you never dealt with you. You just decided to deal with other people so that you didn't have to deal with you. And it's really, really hard, and I understand that. Anyways, this is my form of venting, and I just want to let you guys know my position. Every morning that I would wake up and I would be surrounded by what I interpreted as chaos, it didn't help my anxiety and my panic attacks and my own depression, if you will. It didn't help one bit. Having, my brother around who's obviously not doing the most bright things of this life, and it didn't help having her around. And when somebody is in like kind of like a sad and like mopey stuff, you know what I mean? When someone doesn't have their chemicals right, and somebody else who deals with this constant urge to help people, and when you can't help them, like you just decide to let them be or sit in their own mess, it affects you in a negative way. I'm sure some of you were raised in chaotic situations, and a lot of us became comfortable in chaos. But there comes a time in life where you have to make the decision for yourself to take yourself out of so that you can live and be okay with you and focus on building you. You can't love anybody else. You can't shower love on other people until you know how to build and fix and help you. Now, help thy neighbor, always. But do not put thy neighbor before you. If you don't have $1 to eat for yourself, don't give it to the man next to you. Maybe split a burger. But you can't do everything with somebody else's interest in mind. Somebody else's needs in mind. You can't do that. You're going to become brittle and weak. You gotta focus on yourself. This is my form of venting. Thank you for listening. Today I am 17 days clean. And for my own sobriety and for my own self. And hopefully my influence helps some of you guys make some better decisions and make better choices in your own life. Let's do everything we can today to have a fucking really, really good day. Because all we have is this moment. All we have is right now. There is no other moment besides this moment right now that we're living in to make the best out of. So let's do it. I have chaos everywhere in my life. You might have chaos everywhere in your life. But if you can do your best to focus on yourself and not put anybody else before you, and love yourself, treat yourself with love, kindness, and happiness, what would you tell a younger version of yourself that was struggling? What would you tell that younger version of yourself? How would you help them? How would you be a parent or an older brother or an older sister to a younger version of yourself that was struggling? Ask yourself that question. I love you guys. Thanks for letting me talk.